Hey guys, Dev Horn here at WeBuyHouses.com, and I'm excited about looking at this deal today from Fazio Real Estate Solutions. Welcome to Cash Offer Masterclass, episode number 9. And today we have a 3-2 built in 1922 in Dallas, and so we'll take a look at that. They've got, of course, pictures and they say videos. I hope so. One of the things I would say to you guys as you look at this information is look at how Fazio presents a wholesale opportunity. They're very good at it. And so I'd say every wholesaler should be putting out this kind of information, this kind of photos. They always kind of tell you if they know something's wrong with the big five. And so we'll jump into this deal and see what they have to offer. If you have any interest in it, if you're a qualified cash buyer, reach out to Jade Vaughn at 214-646-9646. There's the number right there. And she can tell you about this deal or any of the other deals that they have currently under contract. So thanks to Fazio for giving us something to look at today. So let's look at it. Now we've got this deal. It's on Idaho Avenue in Dallas. Let's just see real quick where that is. If I back out. Oh, hey. What did I see? I thought I saw it was near a Babe's Chicken. That right there was maybe a reason. No, Rudy's Chicken. Never mind. Not the same. All right, so there we are. South Dallas. And on that side of 35. So there you go. There's where it is located in Dallas, an older home, 1922. I have begun to fill out the model. I put the address in there and I figured out what I think the ARV is here. And let's talk about that first. Remember, there's 3 main steps to computing a cash offer. Number 1, what would this property be worth if it was in excellent condition? That's the after repaired value. Number 2, what are the repairs necessary to get it to that point? And then number 3, given those 2 factors, how much would we offer in cash for the property? And so those are the 3 steps, and the model is going to help us do that. Step number 1 is to figure out what the ARV is, and the wholesaler here has told us the ARV is $200,000. And now here's what I found. And what I like to do when I'm trying to figure out what a property might be worth is, now you can always, if you're a real estate agent, you have access to the MLS. You can do comps on the property, or you can have an agent partner do that. Often we'll just kind of look at several different sources and come up with an average. Zillow has this property at 192. They have no history on it, but that's their current Zestimate, which is 181 per square foot, which is getting on up there for a property of this type or quality. And so we want to get a couple more numbers. We looked at Realtor.com and we see 159,700. And then I looked at Property Radar, which I can't show you, because of the owner information being displayed. They were also at 159, right there at 160. So we've got 160, 160, and 192 from these 3 sources. I might say that it's like 175 or something, and I might kind of play with this and say maybe at 170 or even at 165, that we're at a good ARV that kind of looks at all the numbers that have been given to us and picks a kind of a midpoint. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to leave it at the 181. We're going to assume that Zillow is right in this exercise, and then it's close to the ARV claimed by the wholesaler. Now, let's jump into the deal. So we've got our ARV in there, and we're now going to look at what's this house need. Now, the first thing you'll notice is in their emails, they give you a lot of information. Cosmetic updates can add value. Well, of course, we know that. Roof, no known issues. HVAC, plumbing, electrical. Foundation, I'll say no known issues. And that usually means this is a functioning property. You know, you might assume that this might even be a rent ready or close to rent ready property if none of those things have known problems. But we'll need to kind of look into that ourselves. And so let's do that. Let's jump into the pictures and the videos. I don't see any videos. That's okay. That's okay. We've got, oh, that's cool. Got a blueprint. Got the layout. We can see what we got here. I'm assuming that's your front. That's what we're seeing. And we come in and you got a primary back there. Yeah. 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and then a room. 9 by 8 room. It doesn't have a closet, so you can't call that a. But that one has a walk-in closet. Look at that. Huh. So that looks like a 2 bedroom with that room. 2 bedroom with a room. What did they call this? They called it a 3-2. Zillow called it a 3-2. So we'll go with that. That back bedroom doesn't have a closet, and that's why it might. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that again. We were already in there. Here we go. There we go. All right, there's our subject property. The windows don't look too bad. I mean, we're not too close, but don't look too bad. Got that stone front. That's a neat little house. Does have a crack there. Do you see that crack? Oh, I think there's a few cracks. Yeah. That stone in the house shifted, cracked, and the mortar cracked, and it looks like they've done some probably questionable repairs to it. As we go into this 1922 house, I bet those are 1922 floors, and there may be something there to work with. These look like there might be water damage or something because the boards have curled, where over here, not so much. It's kind of problematic if you have to, you could get all that paint or stain off of there, refinish the floors, but if you have to replace that section, it'd be very difficult to match the wood. So, I don't know. It might be doable though. But it is really cool if you can keep the floors in an old home, restore them. Yeah, look, the windows got stickers on them, which makes me think they're not that old, but looking at them, they don't look like vinyl windows. I just don't know. They may have just never taken the stickers off. Looking at the ceiling, hey, at least it's not popcorn. A little bit of texturing. We can see some separation right there. Not much. Not bad. It's not all cracked up like an egg. We've seen those, right? So now as we look, we're going to go, well, what is that? That was like a furnace fireplace thing. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Click on through. It's probably the dining room. It's got some vinyl flooring on, or I'm betting that is vinyl. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like vinyl. And none of the flooring is worth keeping. Like, you're not going to keep this flooring. So again, the walls aren't bad. I think it needs to be painted. That's probably old paint. The baseboards often have many, many layers of paint in an old home. Sometimes it's just best to pop those things off and replace them. Start over. I don't think those windows are new. I just think they left stickers on them for many years. That's what I think. All right, something coming up there. All right, let's go into the kitchen. Got some ceramic tile in here. Again, I wouldn't keep it. Wouldn't keep it. There's no value to that. Again, I don't see a lot of cracks. Of course, this is old count vinyl, or I guess that's vinyl. I don't know what you'd call that. Laminate, maybe. Countertop with old cabinets, no knobs, no detailing, just straight doors. You can paint these. Like if you're going to rent ready this thing, you can probably just use all that stuff. It's not horrible. But if you're going to ARV, you're going to really need to replace that stuff. This house is a full cosmetic. It's not horrible, but look at that counter. I think that counter may be horrible. Yeah, counter's got to go. It's got to go, my friends. Okay. Keep on going into the bathrooms. Got some crazy texture on the walls. That looks like what you do before you put tile up. That's not a wall texture. That's a... they were preparing to do a tile, and I think they did that and then never put the tile up. Old vinyl thing surrounding in the bathtub area. These things are probably savable. The sink, toilet, and tub. It's hard to tell, but I think so. Mainly, it's not too bad. Okay, yet another room, or another flooring product in this room. It's all right. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot to say because it's not that bad. It doesn't look horrible. It does look like it needs full cosmetic. These again are these old vinyl liners that they put in to bathrooms, bathtubs. I'm not sure what was happening there, but that all needs to be replaced. Yep, full cosmetic. We don't dwell on it. It is what it is. It's probably functional, but look, I mean, you've got a really disgusting floor down there. Again, if you're trying to get it back to ARV, all that's got to go. We've got attic access in this room. I'm assuming we're in one of the bedrooms. That's laundry room connection over here. I would assume that's another one of the bedrooms. This is the back of the house, which is where that third room would be that they're calling a bedroom. And I think that's all we're going to have. Now, as we looked at this, what did we not see? We didn't see a central HVAC unit in the inside, nor did we see a condenser unit on the outside. So we don't have any visibility in the HVAC, and that bothers me. I think if, to do a great job as a wholesaler, always include the mechanicals so that the cash buyer can see them. Very, very important. Even if they're ugly, we just got to see them. We got to know what we're dealing with. Nothing personal. All right. So, and if I go back to their email, what'd they say? The roof, no known issues, HVAC. I don't even know if it has an HVAC. I guess we can assume it does. And they're saying no known issues, and then, electrical, all the plates were off. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem, but why take the plates off unless you're going to paint. So foundation, no known issues. Look, this house is built in 1922. If it was going to settle, it settled. If you can deal with it and just live with it, that's probably, I would say that's no known issue. So, okay, let's jump into the calculator here on 2646 Idaho Avenue in Dallas. Remember, we started out, we've got our ARV of $192. That's $181 per square foot. The house needs a full cosmetic, and it's going to need, basically when I look at full cosmetic and general repairs, if I'm looking at a house that needs full cosmetic, I usually think both of those things are going together. Because general repairs is going to include, anything that's found that needs to be replaced or fixed during the cosmetic renovation. Man, I really think that it doesn't have an HVAC. And the other thing what did we not see? The water heater. Like, you want to see the water heater and then that furnace, air handler, evaporator coil stack on the inside of the house, and then the condenser unit on the outside of the house. If you can get your eye on those three things, then you have a sense of the mechanicals, and we really don't. And I think it introduces some risk here. if I said, hey, I think this thing needs a full HVAC, it'd be around $6,000. And I right now am going to say that because I couldn't see it, and we're just going to go along with what they're saying on the roof. Obviously, when you get out to the property and you look, these are the things you're trying to confirm: is there electrical, plumbing, HVAC, foundation, or roof problems? Those are the big five, and they really contribute a lot. If those need to be done, it doesn't really add much value to the house. It brings the house up to value. It doesn't add value to add an HVAC. People expect an HVAC, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm going to stop on this property. I would go in there and do a full cosmetic, and honestly, that's not leaving a lot of money for those bathrooms. We would clean them up, retile them. But when you can do this is not a glamorous house. We don't need to fix this up to the max level, I think, to get to that ARV. So I'm going to stop right there. Now let's go back. Where were they? They were at 125 with an ARV of 200. We're going to go over here to our model and now come over here to calculate the cash offer. And remember, the cash offer is the after repaired value times 70% minus the repairs is what we would offer for the property. And, well, you can see the numbers. 192 was the ARV. We multiplied that times 0.7, and then we subtracted the 23,408. We're at 111,401 on this property with the assumption that it needs an HVAC. Let's say we're wrong and the HVAC is actually fine. Then we're at 117, which is not that far off from where these guys are. So look, I think this deal, it doesn't look like a bad deal. Like at 125, the wholesaler probably got it around, let's throw the one back in here. Maybe they got, not one on foundation. I was wrong. I meant one on HVAC. There we go. Maybe they got it at 111 and, this is their, they're trying to make 14 off the flip, which wouldn't be unreasonable, right? So I think we're going to call it a day on this one. Is it a good deal? If you wanted to buy this thing, get it rent ready, it seems like it doesn't have a lot of major issues. It may need an air conditioner, but that's not a big deal on a 1,064 square foot house. So yeah, I think Fazio's got was pretty close to a deal here. So what did you guys think? What would you pay for this 1922 house in Dallas, Texas? Our model said 111,401. Well, I hope you enjoyed it today. I love looking at properties and the pictures. To me, it's kind of like, when people watch HGTV or something like that, and they love to see the before and afters of the house, and the renovations. I really like to see the befores because it allows us an opportunity to purchase something, fix it up, make it way better than it was, and make a profit off of that. And that's what a real estate investor does. We're fixing up neighborhoods one house at a time. Well, that's it for today. Don't forget to go to cashoffermasterclass.com. Excuse me. Click on Get the Calculator or watch the past videos. If this is your first one, welcome. We're glad to have you here. And just want to say we're building a new community here. And I hope that you guys stick around. Subscribe, like the video. We're kind of a new channel. So would love to get some love from you guys if you're enjoying the video content. So thanks a lot. We'll see you again. Take care.